actually takes on those questions head on. The question of free speech and the question of free exercise of religion on the merits of the actual laws. I think that's unavoidable. I think they just kick the can down the road on this. Where it comes down, I think a big answer to that is going to be, does Justice Kennedy retire at the end of the month? There's a lot of rumor that he might, because I think right now the court is fairly evenly split 4-4 on whether this is a free speech or a winnable free exercise claim. And I think Kennedy right now is what hangs in the balance. And I think he, when pushed, based on what I've read in the language, would probably side against the Baker. Now that's me guessing based on what he said. So I think a lot of that's going to come down to when that case finally gets to the court, what's the composition of it. If it's the current one, I would bet more against the bakers and photographers. If President Trump gets another nominee, who knows? But this is not something that can just be set aside. There are too many questions about post-Obergefell that recognize same-sex marriage. What level can you dissent? What's the room for dissent? And the court and our society has not decided that yet. They're going to have to decide.
Adam Carrington is his name. He is assistant professor of politics, Hillsdale College. Appreciate you coming on today and enlightening everybody and kind of opening up everybody's eyes to settle down. Nothing was really decided here. This is more about the commission in Colorado than it was the actual case itself in the broader spectrum of things. Appreciate you coming on today, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great for you to take the time to talk to me about it.
Thank you. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet along with us. Love it when you do. So, to recap this, to keep it simple, stupid for everybody out there, and that to me is way, I think 99% of us, including myself, like it, is the nuts and bolts. This wasn't the bigger question of right to refusal of service because of religious beliefs, free speech, anything. This had to do with specifically the way that the Colorado Commission of Human Rights, or whatever they've got there, treated the Baker himself, and that they already had a predetermined feeling and idea about religion, and they went completely, they had animosity towards religion and the Baker from Jump Street. And that is when, lo and behold, the Supreme Court got it and said, you know what, guys, no. What you've done here, the way that you've treated this guy in it itself, and the religion itself, is wrong, and you can't do that. So it's not about religious discrimination. It's not about taking away your religious rights. It's not about taking away your freedom of speech or giving you freedom of speech, saying this is freedom of speech. This was mostly about that singular way that they treated him. So it was much more narrow than broad. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. It is the Chad Benson Show.
This is your Check It Out Minute, brought to you by Casey.
Americans love their dogs. In fact, it's estimated that there are nearly 80 million dogs in the United States today. And if you own one, then you likely know one of the most challenging aspects of dog ownership, especially at the beginning, is training them. Well, as the expression goes, there's an app for that. Coming soon to an app store near you is Pupster, available for free and developed by one of the top trainers in the U.S. Here's Pat Cito, founder and CEO of Pupster.
The goal of Pupster, really, at a high level, is to make dog parenting simple. And what we do is we offer expert training, behavior help, and product recommendations. We use what's called positive training methods. So everything is really healthy for your dog, and we try to make it as easy as possible for dog owners to understand.
Look for Pupster at the App Store for iPhone and iPad.
That was your Check It Out Minute, brought to you by ASUS.
Broadcasting from the Tranquility of Dalton studios of WBLJ, News Talk 1230. Tranquility of Dalton, Senior Living Home and Memory Care Centers on Orchard Way in Dalton. Tranquility of Dalton is where you come live among friends.
Hello, everyone. Mike for Owen Security. Look, as much as we wish it didn't happen, there are people out there who want to take your things. So whether protecting your home, business, or your inventory, it's Owen Security's job to be ever vigilant and safeguard you. They pride themselves on a customer-first attitude, providing energetic and attentive service to everyone, never taking anyone for granted. They make sure working with them is as easy as 1, 2, 3. So contact them today. That's why they are a cut above the rest. Owen Security, staying one step ahead. 706-629-7398.
There's no better place to shop for your home than the Furniture of Dalton and Carpets of Dalton campus. You'll find everything you need or you want in
boring selection, style, and value in furniture, flooring, kitchen or bath designs, and more. And a knowledgeable and caring staff. That's all in one place. A home shopping experience like no other. One-stop shopping for all styles and budgets. Furniture of Dalton and Carpets of Dalton, the destination that brings you home. I-75, exit 328, under the big sign.
My grades were bad. I would like get D's and C's.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of. It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years.
There are students who need somebody. They can trust someone, and it can be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
Communities in Schools is lowering America's dropout rate by helping more than 1.3 million kids every year get whatever they need to succeed in school.
If something was going on at home, we would go to stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
Keys in school vouched for me when everyone else had lost hope.
You can help change the picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesandschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than four walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself. So you can save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
The Chad Benson Show.
Middle class now, it's kind of become the code word, but they're all staying away from it. That's the word class. People don't want to be, we're not a class society, even though people think we're a class society. The fact is, they're staying away from it because there's a negative connotation.
Chad Benson Show. Chad Benson, nights at 6 on WBLJ, News Talk 1230. If you really want to support our troops, just contact the USO. You can't believe how much they do for us. To find out how you can help, visit us at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
One giant step to the left, ever have anyone embarrassed like this? One giant step to the right.
That's all that separates you from everything else that came from slime.
You are now a default Miller. Just right. Oh, get weird. This is the Chad Benson Show.
He told me that he would make me brownies for my birthday, but we weren't in there for brownies for my birthday. We were in there because we needed a cake to serve at our reception.
That right there is one of the men who was not served, David Mullins right there. And he's upset. So they make him, hey, they'll make you brownies. I don't want brownies. I want a cake. And this whole thing, again, is, at some point in time, don't we just go, you know what, I don't need to take this fight on anymore. If you don't want to make me a cake, I'm going to go across the street and take my money elsewhere. Right? Like, if he's the only cake maker, do you say, I want that cake maker to make me a cake? And he said no, so I'm going to take you to court. If there's 100 cake makers that will, and he won't, at some point in time, don't you say, this fight's been fought, and at some point in time, we just got to say, you know what, I'm going to speak with my money, and I'll take my money elsewhere. And just go, you got your religious belief, I don't want to stomp on that, I don't want to start a fight, that it's just, that fight's been done, right? That fight's been done. And it's, at some point, do you do that? Do you? I mean, if you're the only cake maker, I get it. And I'm behind you 100%. If there's 100 cake makers and